Coming up on Good Morning Wilmington Live, Executive Director of the Delaware Charter Schools Network, Kendall Massett, stops by the plaza to talk about their mission to promote excellent public education. Plus, Jumpstart Wilmington graduate Marva Hammond stops by to talk about her new project, creating opportunities one property at a time. And showing the world that jaw-dropping fashions can come from recycled, upcycled clothing, owner of Delaware Fashion Alliance, Brandon Norwood, stops by to talk about the upcoming Thrifted Runway Show. Tune in Monday, March 27th at 10 a.m. right here on DETV.
I'm well on this beautiful Monday. I love
spring's here.
Oh yeah, I love when I wake up on Mondays and the sun is shining, and obviously I get to come to work and host Good Morning Wilmington, you know, along
no other job
your
like
side. I'm so very, you're like, it's just another day. But how was your weekend?
Weekend was amazing. I did, again, absolutely nothing.
Oh.
I spent it with Maddie, so
okay.
it was good.
So family time,
Yep.
family time. That's
Yep.
always important. I had the opportunity to see my family just for a short period of time because I obviously I was working at the restaurant.
Right.
We had our first full week. Well, actually, we're going into week 2 of Ice Cream Delight being open
How's
for the
that going?
season. It's doing so well. We need beautiful weather like today.
Right, right.
When it's raining, we are slow.
Because
when
we were
it's
on our
beautiful,
way.
we're busy.
We were on our way Sunday, Maddie and I.
Oh, we
but
were.
it was one of those days I just couldn't get out the bed.
That's
you know
okay.
what I mean?
That's all right. I forgive you. Next time.
Yeah.
But I had a very eventful weekend. I have to share it with you and all
Please,
of
go
our
ahead.
viewers.
Go
So
ahead.
yesterday was the pre-pageant orientation for the 2023 Miss Delaware USA and Miss Delaware Teen USA
It's pageant time.
organization. Oh yes, we are definitely in the height of the season, but very, very excited to meet all the contestants vying for the titles of Miss Delaware USA and Miss Delaware Teen USA this year. And wow, what a group, Ivan!
You're going to be real busy right about now.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes. It was so incredible to meet all of these talented, beautiful, I mean, accomplished young women.
These are all new.
Many were new and some are returning, but it was just really awesome to bring everybody together and have that opportunity for everyone to meet each other. And obviously they were, presented with their walking patterns for the pageant and some important information. But make sure you stay tuned if you want to see who will win Miss Delaware USA or Miss Delaware Teen USA, April 30th. Just check out MissDelawareUSA.com or follow us on all social media platforms. But I had to make that note.
No, let me ask you this. So if someone's watching and wanted to get involved in pageantry, how would they go about it?
Start by just visiting the website. MissDelawareUSA.com has so much information right on the website. It does have some information and background about the organization. But if you're interested, just shoot us an email. We'll be more than happy to schedule a phone call to provide more information and answer any of your questions. But I always say if someone is not sure but interested, try.
There need to be a Mr. Delaware or Mr.
They used to have it,
Mr.
Ivan.
USA.
Well, you're kind of Mr. DETV, so we're
not
good.
The same, but I'll take it.
I think it's better.
I appreciate that.
But tell me, how was your trip? Last week we were talking about you were going to New York with the DETV crew.
Yeah.
How was it?
No, it was crazy. It was literally insane. So we had a chance to go to the Sherry Shepherd show. And we get there, so we decided that one day wasn't going to do it, so we left the day before to spend the night.
Oh, how fun!
And we went to the Knicks game at Barclays, and then Nets. Damn, my fault. Nets game.
It's okay. The whole crew was like, Ivan.
Yeah, Ivan. And it was beautiful. It was just really awesome. And then after that, we went to Sherry Shepherd the next morning. And it was so crazy, right? We're there, and I have to say, Najee, our producer, and can't forget Kaylin, put it together. Like, they knew who we were. They were waiting for us. They gave us VIP.
Wow.
We met Sherry. We met the producers. We just had a great time. So
what an awesome experience.
Yeah, we got to see. It's funny because you get to see like what they were doing versus what we're doing, and it's different but the same. And yeah, it just gave us some brand new fire.
Right, and I love how it shows you a different perspective. I love what happens behind the scenes during a live production, whether it's a television production or a pageant. And I love the moving pieces that are all happening behind the scenes. So it's really neat to probably see that and be in the live audience and witness that, especially what's happening in between commercial breaks.
It was a party between commercial breaks.
See, that nobody knows that.
Yeah, they had a DJ and what's his name, Kaylin? Marco Fabulous? Marco, the audience producer.
Okay.
Him and DJ Suswan.
Okay.
I think they threw a party.
So everybody was dancing. See, that's so much fun. Good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that it was such a great experience. For you and for the whole team. I think you should make it a tradition.
No, look. This
you
is
should
what
do it again.
We here believe, and especially Najee, believe in team building.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
very true.
we're doing stuff like that to build our team.
I love that.
Because we just don't work here. We're like all family. You know, so yeah, we're gonna keep doing stuff like that because we just want to be better.
I love that. I love that. Well, today happens to be World Theater Day. All this talk about live productions and whatnot. So how fitting it is that today is World Theater Day. And I have to mention that Delaware has some iconic theaters. Just to name a few, I mean, the Grand, that's incredible. The Delaware Theater Company, Delaware's Children's Theater, Playhouse at Rodney Square, and Theater and then also Candlelight. Candlelight Theater
is nice.
Oh yes, it's very nice. And I have to say, Candlelight Theater is located in North Wilmington. There's so much history there because it's been around for so long, and I love that community that's close to the theater. I only know this because Vina and Bistro is in North Wilmington, literally 2 minutes from Candlelight Theater. So I know a lot about this because I talk to the community and I'm very involved, and I know that Candlelight Theater is very influential in that area, and it's been around for so long, but the community keeps it going, and they have fundraisers, they make sure they preserve it, they preserve the history. So I really appreciate theater. Speaking of theater and World Theater Day, do you have a favorite theater or location?
Broadway.
We just go right to the top.
Go right to the top.
Right to the top.
Broadway. There's nothing like, I think everyone, especially everyone in the Black and Brown community, needs to go to Broadway just to see that experience. My favorite one, I saw Wicked, The Lion King, but my favorite of all, Hamilton.
My sister said that Hamilton is incredible.
Insane. Insane. How they can make a show and just rhyme through the entire show and just keep, it gives you suspense, it gives you drama, it gives you everything. But outside of that, there is a couple local theaters like in high schools, and speaking of high schools that's going on is Mount Pleasant High School is also having a production of Frozen beginning this Thursday at 7 p.m. So for more information about that, go to www.mphsdrama.com and check them out. Mount Pleasant High School Drama is next on stage, right?
Yes, and I love that we're making note of that. So funny story, one of my employees at the restaurant, she is on the production team for this particular performance at Mount Pleasant High School, and she was telling me about it, what they're doing to prepare. These are high schoolers, and they're getting this hands-on experience with a production of this caliber. That is so amazing because just think, as they continue to grow in their career, they'll continue to thrive. And I love that that we're able to make note of that and talk about that. So good luck. Break a leg, as they say in the theater world.
And did you know why they say break a leg?
Why?
Because it's like a metaphor to hope you get cast.
Cast it.
There you go.
Right,
Boom.
that's right, that's right.
And speaking of theaters, you want to check out Theater Goer with our own DETV's Matt Ford for theater reviews and current shows. It is going to be his show, Theater Goers, is crazy. So
Matt is so perfect for this. I mean, this is actually Matt Ford's day. By the way, if you don't know who Matt Ford is, he's one of our very own hosts here at DETV. He also hosts the evening news as well, but he also helps co-host Good Morning Wilmington when one of us are not able to be here, or both of us.
Right. He'll step in.
Matt is probably other than my sister, I would say Matt is the most knowledgeable when it comes to theater performances.
He's cool.
He's very, very knowledgeable when it comes to that. But
also, before we go, I want to talk about this. Wilmington Fines and Fees Town Hall. If you got tickets and you're tired of Wilmington giving you tickets on your car, make sure you go out tomorrow at the Powell Center at 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 p.m. This Ken Grant stopped by this morning and handed this off because, you know, the ticket game is crazy.
Yes, and I believe there was another point on there that they will be touching on at this meeting. I think it was, the water bill. So that they'll talk about that the water bill is too high. So there's lots of information. Plan on attending this meeting if you want to be a part of the conversation and hopefully make some changes. So remember, if you don't speak up, change will not happen. So definitely show up, and hopefully we'll have some changes, or at least in the right direction to change.
All right, and speaking of change and good people, who we have on the show today?
Yes, the most important part of Good Morning Wilmington
And why we're
is
here.
all the influential people and incredible people we get to interview and have on the show with us. First up, we will have is Kendall Massett, the Executive Director of Delaware Charter Schools Network.
Okay.
Then we'll have Marva Hammond, Jumpstart graduate and president of Southbridge Community Services Incorporated.
My part of town.
Oh, yes. And then last but not least, I'm really excited about this one.
Okay.
Brandon Norwood, the owner of Delaware Fashion Alliance, along with stylist Kurshay Whitaker and Mikhala Haile. So Mikhala Haile is the founder of Tomboy Tuesday. It's an online retail shop, and she is here to talk about, obviously, her incredible wardrobe she's able to showcase.
Nice.
And I'm taking one for me.
You might as well take both of them because I'm not fitting these.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're going to come in here with a size extra small.
I'm going to talk to Mikhala. I might come in with a full outfit next time. Right?
There you go. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. Hold on. Wait a minute. What is it? We good? Commercial break.
Here we go.
All right. We're taking a commercial break. We'll be right back with Good Morning Wilmington.
Coming up, Executive Director of Delaware Charter Schools, Kendall Massett.
What happened?
DETV
I thought she was going to say something.
Premium provider of creative digital and broadcasting solutions that bridges communities and connects people. We create great stories for all audiences. We deliver independent news throughout Delaware. We are digital platform innovators. And we develop marketing and sales solutions so you can stay connected to your audience. Now, why do we do what we do here on DETV? We do it because we care. So, keep watching and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Remember, DETV, online, on air, on time.
Still searching for cheap gas prices? Dump the pump and ride DART. You can DART to your destination for only $4 all day. Let DART do the driving while you enjoy our free Wi-Fi available on all buses statewide. While scrolling through your favorite apps, don't forget to download DART's free transit app for real-time bus information and enjoy the convenience of contactless fare payment through DART Pass. So what are you waiting for? Dump the pump and try transit. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to DETV's Good Morning Wilmington. First up on the plaza today is Kendall Massett. She's the Executive Director for Delaware Charter Schools Network. Welcome to the plaza, Kendall.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. I love the red.
She's popping. She's popping. It's
Oh,
a lot
yes.
of fashion going on today.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Well, you know, try to look good when I can.
Well, you do. You look lovely. So, Kendall, let's get right into it. What is the Delaware
Charter Schools Network.
Yes.
First off, I want to thank you for adding the S in. So many people forget that. So,
That's all right.
because we are the advocate and support organization for all of the charter schools
Wow.
in
all of the
our
charter
state,
schools.
and we have 23 in operation right now,
Okay.
and a 24th that opens next year.
Why is that? Why is an advocate for charter schools important?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, because a lot of people haven't heard of it, which you do.
Right. So, first off, charter schools are public schools.
Right.
Want to
Okay.
make sure that
Okay.
you understand that. Not everybody understands that.
So yeah.
And we're different. And sometimes when things are different, they're not always appreciated.
Right.
And so our schools in 2001 decided that they needed an outside organization to help them have their voice heard. You were talking about earlier the Wilmington fines and leases and making sure people showed up. That's what we help our schools do. And we
Okay.
help our parents
Okay.
and our teachers and our leaders show up
Okay.
and have their voice heard.
How long have you been in this position?
Since 2012.
Okay, okay. So you've been through many years of also the pandemic, because I'm sure there was lots of changing and adapting through that.
It was.
And now, where are we at right now, present day? Do we feel like we are in a better place?
Absolutely. Actually, so charter schools, the beauty of charter schools is that we're small, and so we're nimble, and we're able to pivot quickly when things change.
Right.
Pandemic,
Right.
Yes.
big things there.
Yeah.
Right.
We had some of our schools that were working with their students the very next week. So March 13th, 2020, it was when the governor said, we've got to stop schools. And within the next week, some of our schools were already working with their kids right away and making sure that they had all of the tools that they needed, all of the work that they needed. It doesn't mean that the district schools weren't working on those things, but in the district, it's a much bigger bureaucratic organization.
Okay.
In a charter school, it's one school, and they're able to very quickly determine what their children need, what their teachers need, what their families need, and make that happen. And
Right.
so I like to think of the pandemic as all the silver linings that we found. And some of the things that we did find were the ability to do different things. for
Right,
kids.
right. Because it's more of an intimate
Yeah.
school, more of a smaller school, you're able to make those changes and make those changes quickly. So
Yes.
the pandemic, you saw, yes, it was a hurdle, but you were able to attack this obstacle and continue to move forward and continue to teach and still have the students learn and the teachers, continue to work, where some schools were having a hard time adapting. So that's an interesting point, because I didn't even think of that, but that you made a good point with that.
And one thing that I want to touch on with that is like the misconceptions of charter schools versus regular traditional
yeah.
Yes.
public schools. What are the benefits of a charter school versus a public school? I know one is smaller. What other benefits are there?
So the difference between a charter school and a district school
Yeah.
is that district schools are connected to a larger organization.
Okay.
A charter school is smaller. So you were talking, the way we make decisions is almost overnight.
Quickly.
So in a charter school, you have a governing board.
Right, it was
Right,
you have to go, you
right.
have to
Yeah,
vote.
Yeah, but our governing boards are not. So we're all nonprofits. So they're like a board of a nonprofit as well as the board of a public school. So
Right.
they are fiscally responsible. They're all transparent. All of the things that they have to do are the same as a public body. But so, a very good example. in a charter school. We had teachers at one charter school. There was a third and a fourth grade teacher, or 2 third grade teachers. And one was really good at English and social studies. The other was really good at math and science.
Okay.
But in 3rd grade, normally one teacher takes all the kids for all the subjects.
Right.
But these 2 3rd grade teachers said, what if we could do it differently? So they went directly to the school leader and said, look, I'm really good at English and social studies. I'm really good at math and science. Can we split our classes? So start the kids moving between 2 different teachers early so that they could focus on what they're really good at, which made it an even better experience for the children. In a district, you have a lot more people that you have to ask to do those things, and it takes months. To
Politics, if you
a
will.
little bit.
Right. Just politics.
So if you were to put, I guess, simplify it even more, what would be the benefits of attending a charter school other than the decision making happens quickly?
Sure.
You talking about for the students? Yeah.
The most important.
Oh yes, for the students, but also maybe if there are parents listening that want to maybe put their children into a charter school or enroll in a charter school, what would be the benefits?
So every child learns differently.
Yes.
Every adult, we know that, right? We have different interests. Children have different interests, different ways that they learn. So a Montessori school is a great option, but it may not be the right option for every family or child, right? So in a Montessori school, they don't have desks. We've had parents come in and go, whoa, where are all the desks? There's a teacher supposed to be at the front of the classroom. That's not how that works. We have schools that are dual language schools. Not everybody wants to learn Greek. We have a Greek English immersion school. Not everybody wants to learn Spanish, right? So we have different types of schools for different needs of children. And that's the benefit. In a traditional district school, you have a large number of children, and you have to do what's right for all kids. It doesn't mean that we don't. It doesn't mean that they don't also offer options. But in a charter school, it's a smaller school. It's a smaller school setting, and it's very focused. We have a mission that we have to meet.
And I like that you mentioned the differences. I mean, every student learns differently. Very, very true. I mean, every child learns differently. And the fact that every school is set up differently, it's almost like it's customized for that individual.
Yes.
How many charter schools are in Delaware again? 20?
So we have 23 in existence, so in operation today, with 18,222 children.
Wow.
2 of which are my own.
Have to put that out
So
there.
I'm not just a charter advocate, I'm a charter parent too.
Okay.
And then next year, the Brian Allen Stevenson School of Excellence. Do you know Brian Stevenson?
Okay.
Yeah, that Brian Stevenson.
Wow.
This is a school that's based on his beliefs, proximity, and giving back to the community, and that will open in the fall with the 6th and 7th grade. It will eventually be through high school.
Where is that located?
That'll be in Sussex County.
In Sussex County. How many charter schools are in Newcastle County?
15.
Okay.
15.
So majority are in Newcastle County.
Yes,
Is that okay?
because that's where we started.
Okay.
What do you want people to know about the Delaware Charter School Network that they don't know?
That they don't know.
Misconceptions, anything? What do you want
Well,
to know?
so we don't steal children.
You must have heard that somewhere.
Our schools don't kick children out.
Oh, wow.
We cannot pick and choose. There is a lottery for every charter school that has more applicants than spots. They have to, by law, do a lottery, and that's done through algorithms and computers. We used to do the bingo ball baskets, and we don't do that anymore because you grow with the times.
Yeah, that was so 80s.
Or 90s, because we started in 1995 here, but charter schools in 1992 in the country. But that is one of the biggest misconceptions, is that we can pick and choose who we want to come to our schools. Absolutely not. So if a parent has a desire for their child to go to a certain charter school, they can do the application process. There is a time limit for that. And then they go through the lottery if there, again, if there are more applications and spots available.
Nice.
So, Kendall, could you share with us briefly before, because I know we're getting to the end of the interview, and I want to mention about the Longwood grant, but before we talk about that, there was before we were started the show, I always like to talk to our guests, and tell us a success story. There has to be a success story that, you know, out there that shows the impact charter schools have for students in Delaware.
Oh my goodness, there's so many. I'm going to give you a little tiny one because it's based on what, and then I'm going to give you a larger one. But the little tiny one is, you were talking about your the pageants. Jacqueline Means went to Delaware Military Academy, and her brother Johnny also went to DMA. I truly believe that and then being part of that community gave her the confidence to go through and do what she did. Of course, her mom is a fierce woman, so working, so she's one of them. But so Odyssey Charter School.
Yes.
Melissa Tracy is a teacher there. She started with an idea. She was a social studies teacher, but she wanted to show how food insecurities, how we could work with our families and our children and to help them learn how to grow food in a small area. She started with 8 garden beds that she raised money on her own to do. Now they have over 23 garden beds. They have a vertical garden. They have hydroponics in their classrooms. And she's teaching children how to do urban gardening, but also how their food affects social justice. And then through the pandemic, she and another teacher who was at a district school started talking about the work that she's doing at Odyssey. And this district teacher is replicating the hydroponic gardening in her school in the city of Wilmington. The students at Odyssey are mentoring the 4th grade. So the 10th grade students are mentoring the 4th grade students.
Nice.
And they are helping spread that message of how you can take care of you, how you can eat healthy and live in the city that may be a food desert. That is a huge success story in my mind. And Melissa Tracy, the teacher, is actually last year was was given the National Changemaker Award from the National Alliance for Public Charter Schools.
And congratulations to
So
her.
for more information, where can people go to learn more about?
DECharternetwork.org is our website, but they can follow me on Instagram, The Village at DCSN, or Facebook, which DE Charters. We try to be as out there as we possibly can be.
Awesome.
And as I mentioned earlier, again, you're a recipient of the Longwood grant, so I'm sure that you're very grateful for that opportunity.
I'm absolutely grateful to Longwood for all of the not only the help and support that they give to the network, but to all of our charter schools. They and Welfare are the 2 top philanthropic foundations that support our schools.
Thank you. Kendall, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
we
you
wish
for having
you so
me.
much luck.
Thank you.
As you continue to advocate for the charter schools in Delaware.
Thanks,
Kendall.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Who we got next? Who we have up next?
You're just going to have to find out.
No. It's fashion on.
Not
I was
yet,
going to say it's fashion on the square. We'll be right back after this message.
Stay tuned. Jumpstart Wilmington grad Marva Hammond is up next.
The American dream of homeownership is very much alive, but the effects of COVID are still being felt in families across our state, from Sussex County to Wilmington, and with each passing month, they are facing foreclosure and homelessness. If you are at least 30 days behind in your mortgage, the Delaware Mortgage Relief Program may be able to help. Every Delaware homeowner is eligible for up to $40,000 in mortgage assistance to help bring you current on your monthly payments. So don't wait. To apply for the Delaware Mortgage Relief Program, call 888-303-4324 or visit demortgagehelp.com. Act fast to save your home, yourself, and your family.
A new beginning, A second chance. Call it what you want, but this is what never giving up looks like. This is what finding someone who believes in you looks like. I thought Goodwill was just a store until a friend told me about Train to Gain through Goodwill's Job Resource Center. After 5 years away, I had a lot of self-doubt and fear about my future. But Goodwill had my back, and today, I love where I work. They matched me with an employer who believes in second chances. And now, I have a new start thanks to Goodwill.
To learn more about Goodwill's career development opportunities, call today.
Still searching for cheap gas prices? Dump the pump and ride DART. You can DART to your destination for only $4 all day. Let DART do the driving while you enjoy our free Wi-Fi available on all buses statewide. While scrolling through your favorite apps, don't forget to download DART's free transit app for real-time bus information and enjoy the convenience of contactless fare payment through DART Pass. So what are you waiting for? Dump the pump and try transit. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
Looking to jumpstart your teaching career in Delaware? And make up to $50,000 with full benefits? Then look no further than Kingswood Early Learning Academy, where you can make a difference and earn the salary you deserve.
Welcome back. Next on the plaza is Marva Hammond, recent Jumpstart Wilmington graduate and president of my part of town, Southbridge Community Service Incorporated. Marva, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me this morning.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Jumpstart graduate.
I know.
What does that mean for you, Miss Developer?
Geez, so Jumpstart is an amazing program. And what it does is give new developers the education, resources.
Nice.
It's very organically done. There's mentoring and there's financial opportunities for developers, and so it's an amazing program.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, when did you graduate?
I graduated, I believe, in 2021. The funny thing is, like, I kind of kept putting off doing it.
Right.
And I started this Southbridge Community Services project, and I've kicked myself like 100 times saying I wish I had known what everything that I learned in the program prior to starting the project. So.
Yeah. What made you want to become a developer?
Oh, I did not want to become a developer. My dad kind of called me. So I am a housing counselor at heart. I've been a housing counselor for many years.
Okay.
And I've always been in the housing industry. And my dad called me, it was in 2019, and he said, I am really concerned at the lack of affordable housing. And he was like, there's all of these places that say that there's affordable housing, but they're really not truly affordable for folks to move into.
Yeah.
And I want to do something about it. And he was like, stay tuned, I'm going to call you, we're going to figure something out. And so in 2020, he bought this horrific blighted building in Southbridge. It used to be a factory. On the corner of Heald Street and C Street.
Roger that.
Yep, so it's right across from Henrietta Johnson, but it was a horrible building, just falling apart. A lot of people said we should have just torn the building down and started fresh, but my dad's a firm believer in, reuse.
Right.
And the building had history, so that kind of forced me into development. We had no idea how long it was going to take or what the steps were. Again, had I taken the Jumpstart course prior to acquisition of the building, I would have had a better understanding of all of the challenges that we would face potentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Marvin, what was the most valuable lesson you learned during the program?
I'm going to say the best thing for me about the program was the relationships that I made. So when I had challenges, things that I didn't know as a new developer, and again, we jumped into a project. This wasn't like an easy flip where you're buying, a single family home and, you're flipping it and you're, putting in, minor things. This is a multi-use building.
Right.
There's 10 efficiency units. And so with that came all of the regulations that the city has, the county has. And so the relationships that I made through Jumpstart and the mentorships that I made things a lot easier for me because I was able to reach out to those individuals when I didn't understand something that was happening.
Yeah. What is the impact that you're looking for in the future? That you're looking to just say, I'm a woman of color, I'm a developer, I'm here to stay.
Yeah, so again, for me, housing, safe and affordable housing opportunities is a right. It's something everybody should have.
Right.
Specifically, Black and brown people are have barriers to this, whether it's, you know, the financial portion of it, whether there's regulations, whether they don't know what their rights are. So for me, getting into this has really given me an understanding of the need for more affordable housing. And, you know, as a developer saying, you know what, I really believe that making money is important, but I also believe that valuing people and giving them a safe and beautiful place to live is important. Like, I've made these units beautiful. I was jealous. Like, I don't have soft close drawers in my kitchen at home, and these units are amazing. They have everything. And so, you know, folks that are exiting out of the Hope Center that will be moving into these can feel a sense of pride because they now have a place to call their own. So I want to keep on doing that.
So who do you want to give a shout out to at Jumpstart?
Oh my gosh, so Deanna, Tamira, Corrine, I literally could not have done this without their assistance. I mean, just from, you know, calling and asking for support. I have a ribbon cutting up coming on Thursday, and they used all of their resources to help me plan this. I mean, you know, trying to...
They want you to win.
They want me
everybody to win.
Yeah, they're actually here today as my support system. They're
hey,
right over there.
Don't mind, well, just come and wave so people can see your face.
Because they didn't know they were going to be on TV today.
Yeah, just come in so they can see your face.
Introduce them real quick. Yep, right there, perfect.
So this is Tamira, this is Deanna.
Come on this side.
Come a little closer. Yeah, there we go, perfect.
So, and they've been amazing. They've given me all of the supports I need. Deanna actually saw me at a community event in Southbridge, and she's like, Marva, why haven't you signed up for the course yet? And so I said, okay, let me do this. And I have said to her probably 50 times, oh my gosh, thank goodness I've done I mean, without this program, I would have not been able to move as far through this process as I have been.
Right. I know, Marva, when I was talking to Marva before we started, I went over to these, thank you ladies, I went over to them and I said, oh, are you here as well? And they're like, nope, we're just here for moral support.
Right.
We're here for moral support, and it's beautiful to see that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful
I love
to see
it.
that.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, we need to talk about the Southbridge Community Services.
Yeah, that's what I want to
building.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Yes.
So again, this was like a little under 12,000 square feet, so it's a huge building. For many years, it was being run like legally or illegally as a specific businesses. It was falling apart, and it was really like, one thing I can say about Southbridge is they have a lot of pride in their community. They keep it clean, they know what's going on. And so this building was kind of a challenge to them because it was just ugly. And so I started first by going to the Civic Association, my dad and I. And my dad's this, you know, old guy in his late 70s, he kind of shuffles around, and he's a really amazing person. And we went and we presented to the Civic Association what our vision was, because we decided that we weren't going to operate in a space where we weren't welcome. And for me, you know, there's developers that come into communities and they don't share with the community what they're doing. So we shared, we got their input, what they wanted, what they were interested in, and we had to go get a zoning variance, and many members of the community showed up at the variance hearing to show their support. So what we've done is we have a multi-use building. There's 10 efficiency units. When folks move into this, the rent will be affordable. All of their utilities will be included. There's laundry facilities on site. We're looking to expand the building into more units, and we're also in talks with several really, I'm not going to disclose them now, but some pretty good community members that are looking to lease space in the building to kind of make Southbridge, like, give them more supports and a lot more community stuff going on. So
we need to take a tour.
Yeah.
Our news team need to take a tour.
You should come. It's beautiful. It's just like, there's a really good energy. I'm an energy person, so there's great energy there. And I can tell you, every time I'm out there, somebody from the community stops by to show their support, to ask me if there's anything they can do. So such a supportive community.
So this is a father-daughter project?
It is. It's a father-daughter project. And
she loves her dad.
I love my dad. Yeah, I love my dad.
She's a girl dad.
I do too.
Yeah, so, you know, we talk every day, multiple times a day about the project, but it's really brought us closer together. And, you know, I'm in my 50s, my dad's in his 70s, so this has really given us an opportunity to, like, kind of see where each of our strengths and weaknesses are, and we've had a really good time doing this with a lot of supports from people in the community, I'm sure my friends just have me on a do not disturb because I've had a lot of volunteer events, and so when I call, they're like, what is she looking for now?
Right.
So, but amazing friends and family. I will say, when you put a project together, currently I work for Delaware State Housing Authority, so I'm very much vested in the housing arena.
Yes.
And every individual that works with me, everybody in the community that's in housing has reached out to me and offered support, helps, donated money. So I'm very fortunate that, the state of Delaware is so supportive of folks trying to do good.
Marva, Delaware Housing Authority.
Eugene.
That's right.
Eugene, yeah.
I was like,
He's
wait a
always
second.
on.
Eugene's been on a couple of
Yeah.
times. And I was like, wait a minute. We
Yeah.
talked about the Delaware
He's our
Housing
director,
Authority.
so I
Okay.
oversee the DHAP rental assistance program. So again, working in that arena and seeing all of these folks that are looking for rental assistance and seeing how much people are paying for rent was shocking to me. And so, this has really pushed me to realize that we need to really work on affordable housing. There's also not enough units available, so apartment communities have waiting lists for people to move in, even if they're not affordable.
Right.
Yeah.
So the question of the evening
Yeah.
is, would you refer people to the Jumpstart program?
Oh my gosh, 1,000 times over. An amazing program, great people, good energy. They have amazing happy hours as well, so throw that in the mix with some great food.
Yeah, throw that in there.
So yeah, really great program. I would definitely highly recommend it.
Nice.
And I would say if you're a new investor or an investor that doesn't have a lot of experience, don't start a project until you take this course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So real quick, this is your camera, invite people to come out Thursday for...
Yeah, Thursday from 10 to 12, we'll have our ribbon cutting. It's at 518 South Heald Street. We'd love to see you there. We're going to do tours of the units. And so we're excited to see everybody come out and join us and share in our excitement about this new building.
Awesome. Marva, thank you so much for stopping by the plaza.
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Jumpstart. What's the website for Jumpstart? www.jumpstartwilmington.org. Go check them out for more information. And we're going to take a break, all right?
All right.
And who we're coming back with?
Delaware Fashion Alliance.
Oh, Brandon.
Kurshay.
Kurshay.
And Mikhala.
Mikhala from Tomboy.
Tuesday.
Tomboy with the socks,
The socks.
that don't fit.
Yeah, that are mine now.
They're all yours. What is this? What is this? Clear.
Still to come, owner of Delaware Fashion Alliance, Brandon Norwood.
How did DETV start and how did you get here?
DETV started approximately 10 years ago in the basement of my home. I had an idea to show people of color doing great things, but what happened was I got to the point that I said, I'm gonna just show people all together doing great things. The motto and the moral was to bring people together instead of using media to rip people apart. And doing that, I just did a lot of hard work, a lot of free stuff, a lot of things of just showing people being themselves. I figured that media, and I saw that media wasn't doing that, so I just decided to give it a shot, not knowing that it would bring me to where I am today. I had a great journey doing it, met some amazing people, did some amazing things, worked on some amazing projects, and with just a lot of hard work and a bunch of sacrifice, I'm here today. I done worked on everyone's campaign in the state of Delaware, and now, I'm just doing what I do and doing it with friends. My biggest accomplishment right now would have to be this, hands down, without a doubt. We want to make sure that we inform the community wholeheartedly. So again, they can have all the information that they need. For more information, you can find us at detvch.com. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook under DETV. Be sure to check us out. Tell me what you think.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Last on the plaza this morning is a group of fashion icons. We have Brandon Norwood, the owner of Delaware Fashion Alliance, along with Kurshay Whitaker and Mikhala Haile. Welcome to the plaza, everyone.
Welcome.
All right, so before we go into talking about the Delaware Fashion Alliance, I would like to mention the orange socks. Tomboy Tuesday,
Yes.
right? All right,
Yes.
so Mikhala, why don't you just kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Tomboy Tuesday, and then we'll go down the line.
So Tomboy Tuesday is just a brand I created back in 2019 for all the tomboys. So the girls who love sneakers but love to dress them up, who love to dress them down, and just for the girls and women who want to feel comfortable whenever they step out of the house.
Okay,
Excellent.
I like that concept.
Yes,
That's dope.
All right, and Kurshay Whitaker is a professional stylist.
Yes. So my brand is basically the beauty of Kalan. The quote is connected to the Bible, Genesis 3:21. And I started my brand maybe about 2 years ago. And then God has just taken it to different levels.
Nice,
I love that. I know that our very own Kaylin Pride, Good Morning Wilmington host, is styled by you. So
ma'am.
you are behind the scenes,
Yes.
but you're very good at what you do.
Thank you, thank you.
And last but not least, Brandon Norwood, Delaware Fashion Alliance. Welcome, Brandon.
Good morning.
Tell us about Delaware Fashion Alliance.
So Delaware Fashion Alliance is kind of like I call it a brand underneath my larger production company.
Okay.
But I just do it just because I kind of got into fashion doing a lot of photography stuff, and have the opportunity now through it to kind of spread my wings and be a little bit more artsy about the different things that I have going on. But ultimately, it's really just an opportunity to help people in the fashion beauty industry chase their dreams. I feel like I've been put here on this planet to really serve people through the gifts that I have and through the experiences I have professionally and just personally. So I use that as an opportunity to provide maximum collaboration, creating larger events with large numbers of people so that they can kind of walk out some of the things that they desire to do as relates to their dreams and passions.
So that's great. I'm sitting here, I'm seeing 3 different styles, right?
Right.
I want to know who inspired you all to do what you do and why.
I can say I have an aunt. I call her Aunt Nanny. Everybody knows her, loves her. But her style is very unapologetic. And growing up, I just watched her and how she carried herself as a woman. That's where my inspiration came from.
Okay.
So I can say for me, maybe not, honestly, I was a football jock pretty much all my life and was never really artsy. But I think the thing that kind of drives me into what I do today is kind of my father and my grandfather. My grandfather, Newcastle, Delaware native. He was like the first, I believe, black man to own a gas station in that particular area. And so his entrepreneurship kind of passed on to my father. Then I feel like it's for me, but all that they've done is just always just really serve people. So that's kind of passed on to me.
Okay.
For me, I would just say all the women in my family, as well as all of the women I've encountered who aren't afraid to be themselves and be comfortable within themselves, I get a lot of inspiration from them.
So the Fashion Alliance, what exactly is that? Is that a group of fashion, I don't want to say fashionistas, right? No. Fashionistas, a group of designers, fashion gurus. What exactly is it?
So the intent of it all is to really just serve as a hub for all of the people who have desires and aspirations of moving forward in fashion.
Okay.
I consider Delaware Fashion Alliance that resource for any and everybody who has, again, desires. I've worked with people who have their own online boutiques to do pop-up shops, do photo shoots for stylists, do budgeting, help people, again, with more of the gifts that I have to help them chase their passion. So the ultimate goal and hope of it is is for it to be just an opportunity that people can lean on to propel forward.
I like that. I got you.
No, that makes sense, and I thought that was a very important question because you think, okay, what is, is it something specific? Can anybody be a part of it? Actually, that's a good question. Can anyone be a part of it if they're interested in fashion?
Absolutely. So they generally just will reach out to me, and we'll, whether it be an event, activity, and all of those sorts of things, we just plan together to work in certain areas.
Okay.
And because of the network that I'm kind of developing as I go along and do more event activities, it kind of gives a larger, bigger resource space for people who may want to individually pursue different activities, events, and things like that to help their passions grow forward.
I love that. I wish this existed when I was in college because I love the fashion world.
You look at your outfit. You look
right. No.
Oh, this old thing. No. But I remember when I was at the University of Delaware, they had a fashion group, but it wasn't. It was just like once a year fashion show, and then that was it. So do you have events and networking events, I guess you would say, all year round, or just one time?
So
one time a year.
Ultimately, that's the intention.
Okay.
Right now, because I have a runway show that's coming actually next weekend.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, I do that annually, pretty much, but it takes about 6 months of planning.
Yes.
And so that very, very time consuming. My ultimate goal is to kind of create the opportunity where that runway show, I have a team of people that can kind of run it themselves, right? Whether it be their creative aspirations, and they kind of put the concept together. I can sit back and help them be a resource where necessary, but to really kind of get on the other edge of things, we're helping providing resources. So people who have aspirations of being a designer, hosting workshops and partnering with local other businesses that may have those opportunities, like a sewing workshop, a modeling workshop, photography workshop. All of these things, again, to teach people the basics of to really get into the industry, lower the barriers of entry, to help them really run the race that they desire to have when it comes to pursuing those passions.
I love that. That's so, but I feel like that's imperative. You're offering education, resources, an opportunity to connect with one another and help each other grow. I always say there's plenty of room at the top to be successful. We don't have to take each other down. We can all be successful together and help each other.
And especially in Delaware, I think that's kind of the thing that I really want to show, because I feel like, if we're all completely honest, we come from the creative industry and people who want to do specific things. For a long time now, everybody's had, well, Delaware is a crab in a barrel kind of place, right? That's the mindset that people our age kind of feel when they try to reach out and do different engagements and activities. But I feel like when you actually create value for people and the things that they intend to do, you kind of already have given them reason to work with you. And so for me, if nothing less, for the past 3 years having this show, working with 60 plus people backstage who all volunteer their time, effort, and energy, have shown that it's not necessarily crab in the barrel mentality. We just have to be more intentional about creating value for people, bringing them on and wanting to give a significant part of it so they can feel like they are doing something of value.
Listen, it takes a lot to, a live production, the moving pieces. The same thing goes for a fashion show. There are so many moving pieces. And how long is usually a fashion show? A few minutes, right? Sometimes?
Well, no. So
this one's a little different.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the fashion show. Tell us all about the event then.
So
let's go for it.
Typically, if you go to New York City or some of the other places, you see those large brands, right? They'll maybe have a show maybe 20 minutes long, because they're presenting maybe 100 items, 100 models walking down the runway, that 20-minute show. Delaware Fashion Alliance, again, the intention is maximum opportunity for collaboration. So I will have maybe sometimes 5 to 6 different stylists, boutiques, designers present all at one time and place. And so that show would last probably about 2 hours. So we'll bring in an audience, probably anywhere from 100 to 150 people in the audience, probably have about 60 people working backstage to help out. Again, the intention with this is maximum collaboration, so that the people who volunteer their time, give their effort and energy, get their recognition, get the opportunity to work in a setting like this, and have more work experience to put on a resume to say, hey, I've done this sort of thing.
Right. And when is the fashion show?
So the show is next Saturday. We're excited about it.
Location?
It's going to be at the Delaware Contemporary Museum down at
nice. Okay, and tickets still available?
No, unfortunately,
Sold
this
out.
morning.
Never mind.
That is going to be last
Hey, Ivan, what are you doing?
Yeah, unfortunately, the last ticket did sell out this morning. VIP tickets sold out a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. Now, House of Kalan?
Beauty of Kalan.
Beauty of Kalan. I don't know where I'm getting the house from. I'm thinking of Pose. Because homeboy was at Sherry Shepherd. What exactly is that?
So the beauty of Kalan, Kalan itself, it means inner beauty. And the beauty of following and loving your inner self is where I came from. So basically, beauty of Kalan is loving yourself, loving who you are, and then I just come in and help you just explore a little bit more. I push you a little bit more, and then we make a masterpiece.
As a stylist?
As a stylist, yes.
Now, how can one hire you?
You can hire me through social media. I am on Instagram, Shay_Dimples_, or at The Beauty of Kalan.
Do you go to people's closets and see what they have, or personal shop for people?
I do it all.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, you're missing out if you're not going to have her personal shop from you. Like, I've had a joy in this process seeing her thrifting and all of the stuff that she's put together. It's like pretty really
I
nice.
love that. So you know how to create an outfit out of something that maybe someone is getting rid of.
Yeah.
That's creativity.
That's what I do.
That's a gift for sure.
It's light work for
you
her.
can see it. You have the vision.
Yeah.
visionary for sure.
We need
That's
a fashion
awesome.
show like here.
Oh.
You would like that, wouldn't you? You and Caleb. Please. I'm all for it. Tomboy.
Yes.
What exactly now? How did you come up with that concept?
So Tomboy Tuesday is just something that I would do every Tuesday on Instagram, and I would do interviews just showcasing other small businesses as well as other female sneakerheads just like myself. And we just
I see you rocking them.
Yeah, so
do we have a sneaker cam? Look at the sneaker cam on those.
And we would just talk about sneakers, business, and they would just give advice. And it was a hit. And I was like, you know what? After I did my rebrand, Tomboy Tuesday was just the name, and it stuck, and it's been going good ever since then.
So this is all about collaboration.
Yes.
How's it going?
To be completely honest, I mean, like I mentioned, there are a lot of folks who still kind of operate in a space where they feel like Delaware's a crab in a barrel mentality.
Understood.
But I really believe that we're making headway with Delaware Fashion Alliance, and there are a lot of other organizations that are doing different things around the city that are making headway to actually bring the Delaware art scene up. I'm really excited about it to happen in the next couple of years.
I'm excited for it too. Yeah. Just make sure you guys stay with it.
Yeah.
You know, just keep with it because your generation is different than our generation, right? Like you guys got it. Yeah. It's right there in front of you. Utilize it and stay with it. Yeah. What makes it so special? What makes the Delaware Fashion Alliance so special?
I think
and different.
What makes it different is well, one, first and foremost, like I believe in doing things to a level of excellence. And so all of the people involved, all of the models and all of those folks, they might specifically say that, well, Brandon is very detail oriented. You know, again, I come from getting started and doing like the New York Fashion Week scene, Baltimore Fashion Week, DC Fashion Week.
Oh, so you've done this before?
Yeah, so I used to be, I was on more so behind the camera taking photographs. And so I've seen how production is run efficiently, effectively. And so first and foremost, the thing I want to do with Delaware Fashion Alliance is make sure that level of quality is up to par. Right, we want to have a top tier experience that everybody can enjoy, as well as the people that I work with, because these people put in their blood, sweat, and tears into their brands, right? And so we want to represent them well as they come and partner with us in the things that we do.
So what's your tenure, 10 years? What does 10 years look like?
So 10 years for me, honestly, the overall goal is to have fashion and beauty be a bigger part of Delaware in itself. Because you have New York City, again, kind of somewhat of a fashion capital on this region. And then you have Washington, D.C., which is kind of a financial capital in this region, if not the world, right? Delaware sits right in between. You have people who travel 4 hours to go from one place to another for fashion, beauty, financial things like that. Why not stop in Delaware and have Delaware be that hub where they can exercise and practice that artistic side and nature of themselves, right? And so Delaware Fashion Alliance, I would love for it to be a hub, Delaware to be a hub, fashion, beauty-wise. We have events, activities going on, partnership with local stores, brands, businesses, the universities, and all those sorts of things. So I really want 10 years from now, Delaware to be a hub for fashion and beauty.
And I really hope that happens for you.
Oh, it's going to. It's going to. Especially when you got people like this kind of working with you. So.
Yes. Have you known Kurshay Mikhala?
So I knew Kurshay probably maybe 3.5 years now. I just saw her work on Instagram. I was like, yo, I really have to work with her. I really love her style, how out there it is, how unapologetic it is. And then Mikhala, I've seen her sometimes like in passing because we all kind of know a similar network of people. Yeah. Seeing some of the work that she does, and she was always about like really jumping on it and moving forward with business. And so I like working with people who are very like, I'm gonna, serious about what they're doing. Right. And she's definitely that, and I loved her work too. So.
Nice. So the show is this Saturday.
Yes, this coming Saturday.
What's the theme of the show?
The theme is called Thrifted. That's gonna be the fun part of it all.
Okay.
So Thrifted, of course, as you know, with fashion, we love fashion and all that, but there's also a downside to it, right? Okay. Fast fashion in more recent years, probably not recent, but maybe like past 5 to 10 years. Has had environmental impacts on our everyday lives. And so those impacts extend themselves through the manufacturing process, through the pollution in water. I think I heard a statistic where it was the fashion textile industry is second to oil as in terms of pollution, right? And so kind of really what we want to do with this show is to highlight there's other options as opposed to always going to buy the clothes that are like you probably would wear once that are very cheap and inexpensive and all those sorts of things. And that you can actually go to a thrift shop, put your outfits together, wear them again, and kind of reduce the burden on the manufacturing industry to produce more at a very quick scale. Right. And so with thrifting, I gave these two, as well as 3 others, a budget to go shop at these different thrift stores, Philadelphia and the Newcastle, Wilmington area.
Okay.
And they pulled together some collections to kind of represent them. I gave them a prompt to kind of stick to, so that part of the challenge was fun for them.
Interesting.
And then they have these collections that they will eventually put on the runway and showcase their style, their artistic vision for what that lined up with the prompt.
All right, awesome. When does the show start?
It's going to be at 7 p.m.
All right, you have a website so people can check out?
Yeah, well, so the show's not on the website, but my website is defashionalliance.com.
Love it, love it. Thank you all three for coming. Really, really
Thank
appreciate you.
Good luck.
All right,
Thank you.
you want to give out your IGs real quick?
Oh, yes.
Me first? Okay. Shay_Dimples and at The Beauty of Kalon.
And mine is just de.fashion.alliance.
And mine is Tomboy Tuesday on everything. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Tomboy Tuesday.
I ain't messing with you. Little socks.
We're going to get you some bigger socks, right?
Really appreciate everything you guys are doing, and thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so we're wrapping up from here. That it? All right, another show.
Another great show.
Capeless
always.
superheroes.
Oh yes, always learning something new, but also don't take Delaware for granted.
Oh, we on the map, baby.
There are some amazing individuals and people here when it comes to fashion, education, and making a difference in the community. So thank you to all of our guests. We had Marva, we had Kendall, we had Mikhala, we had Kurshay and Brandon. Thank you everyone for joining us here on Good Morning Wilmington.
You have a memory like an elephant.
I'm trying.
DETVCH.com. See you soon.